Earlier in the week, I had the opportunity to sit down with the leaders of the ACDP and Al Jama-ah. This is how that conversation went. Ganief, Hendricks, Reverend Meshoe, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Reverend, there are inherent limitations to what a party that describes itself as being religious. What exactly do you stand for?
Well, there are values that are very necessary in every normal society, because if there are no values that are guiding a society, then people can just attack one another all the time, and people might not know where to stop and where to draw lines. Now, values are giving us guidelines. People happen to know what's right and what's wrong. And in every society. Okay, I can give you an example. Respect. If you look at the South African schools now, they are a mess. You have students attacking teachers because they've lost respect for teachers. Look what's happening in Parliament also. People that should be examples are fighting all the time, and there is no respect for authority. And without respect in society, you're going to be in trouble.
Hendricks, what does your party stand for?
Look, if you read clause 1 of our constitution, membership is open to people of faith, and we describe it as Muslims, true Christians, other faiths, and also communities subscribing to Ubuntu. So I don't know if you can really call us a religious party, because we cover a wide spectrum. As we speak at the moment, we have cadres from the liberation movement that used to belong to the PAC and other parties who are now candidates. We have the Enlightened Christian Church, who has a members of up 3 million. They are campaigning on the ground for us. And while they don't have candidates, they are leaders in Mpumalanga, in other provinces for the party, and they run parliamentary constituency offices. And then you have those largely from the Muslim faith, the Sunni faith, that started the party, but said that this is a platform for all communities. So we are a faith-based party, and our constitution requires us to be a platform for all communities. So
faith-based or Muslim party?
We are faith-based, and that's why, for example, Enlightened Christian Church with 3.5 million members in South Africa are on our platform and working very hard campaigning for us. Our executive mayor is a Christian. The head of our Muslim Women's League, Billy Latuli, the daughter-in-law of Chief Albert Latuli, is a devout Christian. So we have somehow or another can be more described as a faith-based party, but a platform for all other communities, because we've got cadres of the liberation movement on our party. Narius Malotto, Secretary General of a trade union, campaigning with me every day on the ground, we were in Kufumvaba, we were yesterday, we were in Mapupani village, we're all over the place. So I don't know how you can describe us, but I must say in the last election, 90% of our votes came from the Muslim community.
But what do you stand for?
Look, what we stand for is that we respect the faith of all those who are members of our family. So, for example, if the faith prohibits abortion, if the faith prohibits bargain, let's say gay sex marriages, that's a matter of faith. So if we have members on our platform, and that is what we believe in, we don't interfere with other people with faiths. And if there are members in our party who are in the closet and may be involved in a man-man marriage relationship, we don't, like in the days of our party, the Morality Act, go and see now, who's doing what. We are a political party first.
But what is your attitude towards the LGBTQI community?
So our Muslim members, they will say it's a matter of faith. We will object to their encouraging other people to have that sexual orientation. And
object.
We will object, and we will tell them, no, we will counter them. We will tell if they come to our mosque or to churches that are with us, and they come and propagate that, they have the right in terms of the Constitution to it, but we have the right to
But they're not welcomed in your in your party.
We have members who may have that sexual orientation who are in the closet. They don't actively come in the party and adopt resolutions that this party is gay and lesbian and all the letters of the alphabet, because the majority of our platform, will tell them, sorry, you keep your face, you keep your sexual orientation, don't come and use our platform to try and convert others to your sexual orientation.
Well, he says it very politically, it's very nice and polished that you say don't come and convert. It's not about converting. We believe that LGBTQ is a lifestyle that the scriptures do not support, okay? Because it is God who started marriage, who instituted marriage. It is not the politicians. And when God instituted marriage, it was between a man and a woman. So anybody who goes against that will know that this is not allowed. While I would agree with him when it comes to when a person joins the ACDP, will not ask him what your beliefs are.
Okay. Isn't that hypocrisy, though? I mean, you want their votes, but you're not willing to support them.
It is not hypocrisy. It's not hypocrisy. They know who we are. And when we have a godly government, the godly government obviously will do its best to ensure that marriage is defined as between a man and a woman. Now, if at all you have a man-man situation, she who wants to get, to have a union, we'll call it a civil union. But marriage is definitely, as far as the ACDP is concerned, as far as we understand the scriptures say, and also understand even his faith would agree that it is between a man and a woman, not a man and a man, or a woman and a woman, okay? We are not advocating hatred. We are not advocating rejection. We are just saying respect our opinion, our views, our values, and our principles, and we will also respect yours.
So they mustn't vote for you?
When you have a godly government, a Christian government, it will be a government for everybody. So for everybody, even those who don't agree with us, we are, when it comes to services, we will not ask, we will not say to them, we don't agree with you, so don't vote for us. We are not going to say that because it would be wrong. Any government must be a government of all the citizens in the country,
but
whether black,
the
brown.
Position you've taken wrong in the first place.
No. The position I'm taking is not wrong. It's right. It's correct. When I take a line that agrees with what God is saying, God's word says, you cannot say it's wrong. So if you say it's wrong, it means then Vuyo is wiser than God. And I would disagree with Vuyo. Vuyo is created in the image of God. And it is God who tells Vuyo what is right and wrong, and not Vuyo telling God what's right and wrong. So the position we are taking is correct. We are taking God's position. We are telling people what God intended from the beginning. Whether people believe it or not, it's their ndaba, and they will meet their God, their creator, the day they leave this earth. But it is important for people to know where we stand as Christians, where we stand as people who believe in Christ.
Why don't you then leave it to God, and not be the judge, because you are judging them?
No, we're not judging anybody. We are not judging anybody. We are saying we are living out our faith. If you want to walk with us, while you know what faith we believe in, what values we believe in, what principles we are pursuing, it's fine. We won't say, no, don't follow us, don't work with us. We have friends who we disagree with when it comes to this situation, but they are friends. Because we respect them for their rights, we respect them for their beliefs. At the same time, we know and they know that they will not change our beliefs because we are based on scriptures. And we believe scriptures is correct. Anybody who will attempt to change the scriptures will tell him in his face, you are wrong. If you want to live, you have a blessing of God, then start doing what the scriptures are saying, because scriptures must guide people in society. If we follow scriptures, then we are going to live in peace together.
Then take their votes.
Look, a vote is a secret, right? Everyone knows that your vote is a secret. We put forward our policies, we put forward our programs, and it's up to any voter in South Africa, even those from that community or that sexual orientation, to decide who they're going to vote for. We're not in the business of forcing people to vote for us. That is their right. That is it's a secret vote, and we respect that. Even very good Muslims that may be in our party, when they come to the ballot box, they may decide that they've heard something from another political party, and now when the magic moment comes, they make the cross of the party of the choice. So it's not for the media or anyone else to want to tell political parties to force people to vote for them. No, we will put our policies, we will put our procedures, and Al Jama-ah is a platform for all communities. More reason for us and for them from that sexual orientation to understand that there are other co-members in this party who, as a matter of faith, when it comes to, for example, a man marrying a man and a woman marrying a woman, we must respect that the liberation movement, the foundational principle of a family policy was Chief Albert Atuli. He got the Nobel Peace Prize. And he, in the liberation movement, he put on the table fatherhood. I respect him. And in Parliament, I asked the Deputy President, what's your position? And he said, no, fatherhood is important. Fathers who are members of Parliament, honorable members of Parliament, must have breakfast with their children every morning. The father must be the center of the family.
No, but I mean, you're branding yourself as like a progressive person, leading a progressive party, but your views are very conservative. And I think the Reverend is right. You're putting it in nice language.
My faith conservative. What right do you have to call my faith conservative? We have a revolutionary faith. Call us a revolutionary faith. Don't say we are a conservative faith.
I don't mind being conservative faith. I don't mind that, okay? He doesn't like that, I take it. Okay, we are conservative. Why? Because we believe in Christ. Then we make no apologies about that. And the fact that some people are saying when issues evolve, the scriptures must also evolve, our faith must also evolve. I don't agree with that. Why? Because my God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He does not change. And his word should not be changed for political correctness. I'm not interested in political correctness. I'm interested in biblical correctness.
You're, of course, unapologetic also about supporting Israel.
Definitely. Definitely.
Reverend, let's talk about that, because I went to your church, and behind your pulpit is this flag, South African flag, but also an Israeli flag next to it. What's that all about?
Well, it's for us to pray for Israel, for Jerusalem in particular. If you are a Bible-believing person, a Bible-believing Christian, you are instructed by the scriptures to pray for the peace of Jerusalem.
But you don't have a Palestinian flag.
Well, I don't have Palestinian instruction in the Bible. My Bible, they have it, I don't have it. They don't have the Israeli one, I have it. I don't have the Palestinian one, they have it. So that's how our faith are. Now, the instruction I get from the scriptures is to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. So I want our members, when they see that, to remember, we are instructed to pray for peace.
But we have Israelis discriminating against, suppressing, oppressing Palestinians, and you're not speaking out against that.
No, when it comes to suppression, about what the governments are doing, we are not talking in our church about what governments are doing. We are talking about what the scriptures are saying about praying for the peace.
But the oppression is there for people to see. People are dying.
No.
In Gaza right now.
Okay, listen. When we talk about war, okay, two questions. Where did it start? Why? Okay, why did it start? And what should be the solution? I have spoken, opened about saying we convey our condolences to both sides of people who died. And I've also suggested that for this war to end, I have made 3 proposals that nobody's talking about. And so if at all we were not caring, we would not even suggest what we think the way forward is. We believe there is a way forward, and we have put it on the table, and it's not taken seriously. So we are making an attempt to stop the war. And I am today saying again, we wish to see the war coming to an end, because the suffering, both sides, is severe. The suffering is heartbreaking. We want the suffering to stop. We want the war to stop. but let those who are benefiting from that, because there are some who are benefiting from that, and I believe mostly it is the manufacturers of the weapons, because the more the wars, the more some people are catching in. That is why. That is why.
But have you taken that message to the people who support you, who
Which
support
people?
your stand?
No, our members, they hear it all the time. We talk about it. People who support us, we talk about it all the time, that we want the peace of Jerusalem and in the Middle East. We want it. Our members, they know that. And I've said it on TV, on a number of channels. We want peace to come. And for peace to come, I have made proposals of what needs to be done so that peace can be found in the Middle East, in Gaza in particular.
Look, our position is quite clear that Israel are a people, not a nation. They are occupying another country. Our constitution talks about true Christians. So we don't believe that the position of the ACDP is that of a true Christian. That's why many Christians who want to join a faith-based party, their first choice should be the ACDP. But they're coming to our party because it's not based on true Christian values, which is also in our constitution. Now, our position as Al Jama-ah is too many Jews died in the first Holocaust. It was a horrible very savage. The only people that has now beaten Hitler with savagery is the Israeli army. Not in our entire civilization since the Stone Age has people been so cruel. Israeli army, they are not humans. I don't know what we can call them, Vuyo. And for a Christian church to support such people, support the genocide, and not utter the words, all I want the Reverend to say that we support the ceasefire. All we want the Reverend to say is that humanity is guided by international laws. Israel respects the international laws. All we want the Reverend to say, as he's an honourable member of Parliament, a leader of a political party, is to say Parliament has taken the decision to take the matter to the International Court. Prima facie case, present the case. Israel brought the best minds in the legal world to present the case. Let the judges decide. Let us now move forward and stop the war. And it is unbelievable that a person who calls him a Christian will allow the 14,000 babies to be minced into a pound of steak meat.
No.
It's unacceptable.
No. I think my colleague here is wrong. My colleague here is misleading people because he knows that the children that are being involved, that Hamas is using human shields. Okay, that has been known for a number of years. Okay, I have not heard them saying Hamas must stop using human shields. So there are many innocent people who should not have died if Hamas was not using people as human shields, women and children as human shields. Now, as a man, I would say to my colleague here, if two men want to fight, let's put the women aside. Let's leave our wives at home and we as men fight and not bring women and children into the fight. And unfortunately, that is what has happened and that's what's happening in the Middle East. Now, he said something very interesting that after the elections bring us both here. Now, he claims that there are millions of Christians who are going to support them. They don't support us, maybe he says, because of our position on Israel. I don't agree with him. I will shake my hand and I will buy you cake if those millions of Christians can vote for you.
Parking ticket.
Okay, all right, definitely. So please, whoever is in charge, make sure that after the elections, you bring the two of us here to see whether Christians can boycott the ACDP and vote for a Muslim party. That obviously is going to raise a number of questions that I will ask, or that I will articulate when we meet next time.
But what does your party stand for? Why should people vote for you?
Well, the party, obviously, number one, our slogan is SOS, okay? There are, S stands for service, okay? Service delivery in this country is very, very poor, okay? Why? Because a number of strategic mistakes have been made, all right? Including tendering system that is only empowering a few people, all right? And communities, municipalities are disempowered. Municipalities cannot fix leaking taps, drains that are blocked. Our streets are filled with sewage and many municipalities can't do anything about that. Why? Because of a strategic mistake that was made by government. Okay, ACDP says we will correct that. We will ensure that services are paid, are given to the people, are delivered. Why? How are we going to do it? We'll ensure that municipalities are qualified, they are skilled, that will have electricians in every municipality, you will have plumbers in every municipality, so that when you have a challenge, a problem, you will not phone the company that won the tender that's 200 kilometers away. We are not going to do that. That's the S. And O, we are talking about bringing order. You know that there's no order in this country. You know that there are people who are coming through the borders that are leaking into this country and causing crimes, committing crimes. And when the police have to try and trace the people, they are untraceable because they are saying we cannot match the fingerprints. These people are illegal foreigners. Some of them, the police are saying to us, because I also lost the case. I was victimized in December last year. The police said to me, we cannot trace them because they took fingerprints, but they cannot be matched with anything. Why? Because these people are illegal in the country. So there is no order. The people who should be living in peace are not living in peace because of the government that allows illegal immigrants. ACDP says all the illegal immigrants will be sent back where they come from, and those who come back, even when they are sent back, we will put them in jail. We will not allow what the ANC is allowing in South Africa. And the next S is safety. We want our people to live in safety. We want the police to increase the number of police, firstly, because the police are by far outnumbered. And secondly, remove corruption among the police. We know that the police who are eating with criminals, there are police who take money from criminals. Many times when you see a police van and you see an individual leaning over the window, you must know that there's gum for cash. That person has come for cash. We want to stop all that. All the police who are involved in crime are going to be sentenced. There will be special sentences that will be imposed for police who are involved in criminals. We want to make our streets safe. We want to make sure that our children, our wives, our sisters are able to walk the streets even at night, not fearing anything. As today, people are fearing. We are fearing, okay? Because we are being addressed. Yesterday, our people were campaigning in Khayelitsha, for example. 6 thugs came with firearms. They took their cell phones, and some they tried to shoot them. And thank God that the guns jammed, 2 guns jammed, when 2 of those robbers aimed at our people to kill them. So I'm saying if people want safety, the ACDP is the party to vote for, because we definitely are not going to be friends with criminals. We'll be friends with law-abiding citizens. Criminals need punishment, not friendship from those who are in authority.
I'm very happy that the ACDP is taking from Sharia law, penal law. I haven't heard chopping of heads and cutting of hands.
We don't chop heads.
But I mean, the severity that is being put on the table is very interesting. But coming back to Al Jama-ah's manifesto promises, we are guided by what we read in the Quran and the practice of our prophets. And one of the issues, critical issues in South Africa, is poverty and unemployment. So when I read the Quran, I'm faced with a scriptural message that when a man works for you, you must pay him before his sweat dries. So as a Muslim, as a party, and all the other groupings on our platform, they support the principle of decent work. We don't want jobs. Jobs are only there if you want to be a slave. So when the ANC speaks about 3 million jobs, they want 3 million slaves. When the DA wants millions of jobs in the Eastern Cape, they want slaves. So what is decent work? Decent work is a convention of the ILO, which was pushed by President Nelson Mandela. South Africa signed the convention, and he got the first annual award for promoting decent work, and Winnie Mandela the second. So decent work has 3 whammies. The first whammy is that you must have social benefits like medical aid, housing, bursaries, transport, the whole spectrum, and it's listed. The second whammy is that while you are working, you must be supervisory training, management training, corporate training, to such an extent that you can get shares in the company and be owners of the company. The third aspect of decent work is that if an employer identifies you as an entrepreneur, he must start you up help you to start up a business and procure from you. You don't have to go and hunt for business. You will be successful. So that's in the Convention for Decent Work, which President Mandela put to the ILO. Then the silver bullet, which is not there, is full employment. There are many countries who has full employment and it's not a pipe dream. So what Al Jama-ah will do, we will change the fiscal policy to accommodate full employment, because at the moment we find that South Africa has enough money. We have nearly 1,000 billion rand that we make because of the rand-dollar exchanges. We find that illicit financial flows is double our GDP. If that money is properly taxed, it will triple the money that we have in the fiscus. And then companies have 3 trillion of cash that they're not investing. So we feel it's not a pipe dream and that we should have full employment. Then we move on to a rights-based approach. The Constitution talks about access to water. You must walk 10 kilometers and compete with dogs to get water. We say, no, there must be a right to water. So the fiscal policy, the budget must then accommodate that. We say in our rights approach that there must be a right to personal safety. So you must be safe in your home, in your neighborhood. So we have a rights charter that is governed by Islam, that is governed by many of the liberation movements on our platform. And so that is what we're presenting to South Africa, that if you vote for Al Jama-ah, there will be decent work. Don't ask us for jobs, because we don't regard you as slaves like the ANC, the DA, the ACDP, and other parties do. We promise you decent work, and South Africa will then, in line with the relaxing of borders, and that's why I don't agree with the bishop, you know, that there's only one Africa, one nation, and there should be no borders. And countries on their own, when they get uhuru, are very weak. But when all African countries stand together, we'll be very strong and we'll be richer than the European Union. So we are in for 7 years of prosperity as the African Union has now relaxed the borders. It's just implementation dates. When Al Jama-ah comes to power, we will sign.
Hendricks, let me thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure.